All right, new video format. It's our 10th video now, so we thought we'd do something a little bit different. We're currently in Newman Rocks,
Yeah.
which we were told would only be of interest to geologists and acid heads. I don't know what that makes us. We roamed up here and there's just wild cows roaming around everywhere.
Yes, yeah.
So yeah, we're at Newman Rocks, which means we're now on the Nullarbor, which has been the thing we've most been looking forward to this trip. And we just spent the last couple of nights wild camping. We camped near Fraser Range. Went for a hike at Fraser Range, which was awesome.
That was really cool.
Saw loads of wildlife. Signed a guest book in a microwave on the top of a mountain, which is maybe another video. Yeah. So we thought we'd like up our game a little bit with the videos now. We've just spent 2 months working at Wheatbelt near Kalgoorlie, and it was great. We saw loads of stuff. We saw salt lakes, we saw abandoned mines, we saw all sorts of local wildlife. We roamed around the bush and met all sorts of truckers and miners. We had a real outback experience.
We did.
Hey.
It was basically being like back in the Wild West out there.
Yeah,
It was.
It was like a post-industrial revolution Wild West.
Yeah.
It was, just diesel fumes and miners and truckers, and it was pretty rough and ready, but it was a good experience.
A lot of plastic.
Yeah. So that was great, but the thing is the hours were really, really long. That's like the only real complaint. We didn't really have much time to make these videos. So it's been really hard catching up the last couple of months and getting everything ready before we cross the Nullarbor. Because the next couple of weeks are going to be really difficult too, right?
Yeah.
We're going to have no cell service, we're going to have no electricity.
Middle of nowhere.
Yeah, like it's going to be no internet. It's going to be really difficult. So, yeah, we thought we'd wrap things up and do a bit of a summary of the trip so far.
Yeah.
All right, tell me, highlights. What's your favourite part been?
I think, definitely one of the more unique things that we did together was the tour of the brothel in Kalgoorlie.
That's so weird.
That was so weird. And it's the oldest brothel, continuously working brothel in all of Australia, not just Western Australia, like the whole country. So that was really neat. And then we also, we explored Lake Lefroy at one point.
Yeah.
We actually walked on salt. It was really neat. It's an old salt refinery there as well, the ruins of one.
It was weird because, like, I'd never walked on a salt lake before.
I hadn't either.
I expected it to be like sand.
Yeah.
Like salt, you know?
Yeah.
It was like brick hard. It all solidified. It was like marble.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
It was like salt, like a brick of salt. And then I found the ruins of Larkinville, which is where the Wheatbelt's famed golden eagle nugget, was actually found. And Larkinville, it's a ruin. It's like this old shanty town. There's nothing there except a few
holes in the ground.
That was really neat. And
yeah, so the golden eagle nugget, for people who don't know, it's this huge golden nugget they found in Western Australia.
Massive.
And Wheatbelt is claimed to be where it was found. It's the home of the golden eagle nugget. That's why they called it the golden eagle, because it looks like an eagle with its wings outstretched.
Yeah.
This huge chunk of gold. Can't remember how much it weighed, but it was heavy.
It was really heavy.
Yeah. But what most people don't know is it actually came from Larkinville.
Which is 8 kilometers.
Bonnie discovered this and
yeah.
hunted it out.
It was awesome.
Yeah, well,
I
I really like just the abandoned mines and stuff in the bush.
That was
I like
cool.
going riding off-road and stuff around there. That was cool. But, like, I mean, earlier than that, like, coming across the Wheatbelt was really cool.
That was neat.
Like, stopping in Wagen, quaint little towns. They're, like, really, like, they're like frontier towns.
Yeah.
They're like American pioneer towns. Every one of them has, like, the big old hotel in the center of town where, you know, everyone used to congregate with the bar downstairs. They all look, it's like the same hotel in every town. And it just looks like the Wild West, doesn't it?
And I love how a lot of these little towns that we went through, like, they had these quirky little things that they really, like, used to promote their towns. Like Wagen, like the giant ram, and the signs in the town all had rams on them. You know, the
every
artwork.
town has its
every town.
thing.
Yeah. And, like, Dumbo Young had this boat.
The Bluebird.
The Bluebird, thank you. Like
so the Bluebird,
boat.
I think there was various iterations of the Bluebird, but
Yeah.
it was for breaking the water speed record.
Yeah.
And I think the latest one that was broken by it was on Lake Dumbo Young.
Yeah.
Dumbo Young. So they've got it's this tiny town. There's nothing there, and they have a visitor centre with a museum in it.
It was really
for the
cool.
bluebird, and yeah.
It was just really cute, and then the Tin Horse Highway as well.
That was cool.
Yeah, it was really, really cool, and stuff that you wouldn't normally see, because it is out in the middle of nowhere. They're not like big tourist destinations, and that's what made it so unique.
Yeah, it's just cool that these tiny little towns with population of 200, if that, all have these things going on. It's really cool, and they all have places to camp. They all have caravan parks. They all have motels. There's all the public barbecues and stuff. The facilities are great.
Oh, yeah,
it's made it so easy for us traveling, through Australia as opposed to other countries, just because they have all these facilities. It's been awesome. And the people we've met.
Oh, we've met lovely people.
So first, we landed in Perth. We had our weekend in Perth, and we just needed to get out of the city. We had these big touring bags loaded up with a bunch of gear, and it wasn't feasible just lugging them around the city. And we wanted to get out there and, roam. We wanted to go and bike tour. Yeah. So we thought we'd head up to Lake Lefroy for a night. Lake Lefroy? No. What was it? Lake Leschanel?
Yeah, we couldn't pronounce it.
Yeah, up there for a night, and give Gary a call, who's a HelpX host. HelpX is a thing, it's for backpackers where you can go and work for food and board, basically. So Gary was offering a few hours every morning of work. For a few hours of work every morning, he would cook for you and you could stay at his place. So we first arrived and it was pretty cluttered, and our first impressions were wow, what is this place? Who is this guy? But within an hour of being there, he had us at ease. What a lovely guy.
And he's so knowledgeable.
Yeah, man, his knowledge of wildlife is just insane, and we learned so much about the country when we were staying with him. It was amazing. So we stayed there for a week. Gary was amazing. And then we did the Munda Biddi.
Yeah.
That was a highlight, doing the Munda Biddi. Only 3 days of it. We didn't do the full thing, but that was really cool.
We did the most difficult part of the Munda Biddi. I don't think we realized that. Yeah. It was the hardest part. We were on those big boats of ours. It wasn't feasible.
I can't remember if it's 1,000. I can't remember if it's 1,000 or 1,000 miles.
I think it's 1,000 K.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a mountain bike path heading north to south from Mundaring to, is it Albany?
Yes.
Yeah, so
it's incredible.
I really wanted to do it, but we couldn't do the full thing. It wasn't going to be feasible, so we did a few days. It was awesome. And went to Jenny's. And Jenny's a musician, singer. She's always gigging. When we arrived at her house, she wasn't even there because she was on tour. But we stayed there for a month looking for work. And it was a great place to stay. We met Max and Clarice, another couple of backpackers. They were doing the van life thing. They were staying there, and they were awesome. I really liked to spend time there. Jenny was great. We were in a music video when we were there, which was kind of weird. We were extras. That was a fun night. Drank some wine, hung around getting filmed. Jenny was really nice. She was super chill. She just sort of let you get on and plod away with work around the garden and stuff. That was awesome. And who else have we met along the way that was really cool after that? Brendan and Denise. Yeah. So Brendan and Denise, after we left Jenny's, we visited the Thrombolites, which was cool. This prehistoric organism. And we left there and we got to a little town called Harvey. And I'm looking on the map, and there's not really anywhere to stay in Harvey. There weren't any campsites. I think there was a hotel, but we kind of got into town really late, and we were weighing up our options of where to stay. We didn't have any gas cylinders left for our stove, so we didn't know what we were going to eat. So we're outside the IGA, the local supermarket, and this dude comes up to us and asks us, "Oh, where are you guys traveling from?" "Oh yeah, we came from Perth, but we're originally Florida in the UK." He's "Oh, cool. What are you up to?" And we just explained the situation. We haven't got any gas left for our stove, so we were trying to buy some of that, but we can't find any. And we're thinking about maybe camping in this park over here because it looks like the only spot there is. He's "Oh, well, I have backpackers stay quite a lot. Just come around my place and I'll clear some space for you." So we jumped on that opportunity.
And keep in mind, we'd only been in town literally 2 minutes.
Yeah, we'd literally just we hadn't even been into the IGA yet. We'd just stopped. He's yeah, come around. If you just go over the railway tracks and turn right, you'll see a white picket fence. That's me. So we rolled up, and him and his wife were straight out, and awesome, like so kind.
They're really
Like
kind.
he had a little stove that he hauled out for us to use, set up like a bed for us, and said we could stay as long as we wanted. Because there was a big storm came into town, and it was horrendous. Thunder, lightning, the rain was just chucking it down. So we stayed a couple of nights there, sheltered from the storm, and it gave us a chance to look around Harvey, which is nice. So yeah, they were so kind. Brendan even came out with a big map and showed us routes we could take to get across to Wheatbelt. Because by this time we'd already landed the job, so we were just, plotting our course across. That was really cool. Yeah, and then latterly, at Lake Lefroy, you were talking about the Salt Lake?
Yeah.
We got taken out there by a fella called Robert.
Oh.
Again, we'd literally just left Wheatbelt. We were going through Kambalda, and we'd stopped for coffee, and this guy came over to talk to us. Oh, where you guys headed, blah-de-blah. And he offered to take us out on his, the land yachts.
Yeah, he had
Calls them
carts.
blow
Blow
carts.
carts, yeah.
Yeah, they're basically those, those like little three-wheel carts you get with a big sail, and you go to the beach and you like windsurf on these cars. And he offered to take us out there, so we went out with him the next day, and there was no wind.
No wind. Whereas the day before, it was like perfect.
Yeah,
The
but
wind
we were on, it was,
we were on the road.
Yeah, so we couldn't do it that day. Anyway, so yeah, we went out there with him, and he took us out to the Salt Lake. We explored, and then he took us back to his house, and we chatted for a bit. He was really nice. We exchanged details, so because they travel a lot.
They do.
They've been on a tour of. Not like a bike tour, but like a caravan tour or whatever of America.
Which I love hearing.
Yeah, and he loved it. He was really keen to talk to you about like the States and stuff. That was awesome. So yeah, that's a big highlight for me. Moving on is like just the people. Like, don't get me wrong, we've had our fair share of like idiots on the road, like trying to scare us and knock us off and stuff. That's not been so great, but for the most part, we've really been made to feel welcome.
It's true.
Yeah, it's been nice. What else? I think that's a pretty good summary.
Yeah.
That's it, basically. We've had an awesome time. We've gotten really good at camping. Bonnie here can set up the tent in 10 minutes flat, if that, like more like 4 minutes. While she's doing that, I get the stove out and start cooking dinner. And we've got our system in place now. Like, we've been having loads of campfires now that the fire ban's been lifted. That's really helped.
It also helps with disguising our smell, because we are.
Yeah, campfires normally aren't great because you go home stinking of smoke and you have to wash all your clothes. But when you've been on the road for a few days and you're starting to smell pretty ripe, the smoky smell kind of masks that. It's pretty good. And as well, it's still cold. I mean, right now what time is it? It's maybe 9 or 10 in the morning. We just got up, and it's already pretty hot. But the nights are just Baltic. Like, I couldn't believe it. This morning we had frost again.
Cold. Yeah, we've had frost.
We've had like 3 nights where we've woke up and there's been frost on all our bags and stuff, which I never would have expected in the outback. But I guess if it's getting frosty, it must be dropping below 0 in the night. So I'm glad we upgraded our sleeping bags and stuff. Otherwise, we probably would have died. Yeah, it's good. We're getting into the groove of things.
Yeah.
Like, when we first started, I feel like we were kind of reluctant to wild camp. Like, we'd camp at campsites or we'd stay in motels. But now we're like so reluctant to stay in a motel or a campsite. We'd rather be out in the bush somewhere like this, just away from everyone, have our own little bit of space, Yeah, it's been awesome.
It has been really, really good.
So the plan now is just to head across the Nullarbor.
Yeah,
it's going to be amazing, but
it's going to be great.
But the thing is, like, a lot of people talk about how long it takes to do, and they reckon, like, for bikes maybe 2 weeks. But those are people just trying to get across it, and we want to see everything we can.
Yes.
Like right now, we're up exploring Newman Rocks. Most people just bypass this place, but we came up here for a bit of a hike. We're on our way to Balladonia now.
There's about 30 miles.
About 30 miles. There's a museum there, which we're going to check out. They've got an internet kiosk. I think it's $10 for unlimited use. So we'll probably stop there, edit this, upload it. And then what's next after Balladonia? Oh, after Balladonia, you hit the longest straight road in Australia, which is, I think it's about 90 miles. I think what was it, like 145k or something?
Yeah, something like that. It's really,
of just
really
straight.
long.
Like straight, treeless, nothing, just a straight road. It's not even good for camping on it because like there's no trees, there's no shelter, and it gets really windy out here. So that's the next. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be awesome.
We're gonna try and do it in one go. That would be awesome.
So have a night at Baladonia, get well rested, get all our things charged, all our phones and everything, cameras and stuff, and then the next day try and do it in Awana and camp at the other end. Yeah, and I guess more updates as things happen.
As things happen.
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. All right, let's sign off. Let's get
Okay.
going. Bye.